Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopefully let I get out there, pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah has created us to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line goes back to you being a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American, one of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Hey, Shalom. It's your brother Halakia from the GMS Denver camp coming back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shah with another video. And before we get into this article, we're going to start here in Zechariah 5:1. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits. The breadth thereof is 10 cubits. And what the prophet Zechariah is saying right here is a chariot, man. A so-called UFO. These same vehicles that have been reported on all throughout the earth, especially here in the land of America. And they're here mainly, and they're being seen mainly here in the land of America because of what? It's prophecy, man. Biblical prophecy tells us that these vehicles will be spotted here in the land of in the house of the thief, man. And the thief being who? Esau, Edom. So let's continue to read. It says what? Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. And that's what we see happening. These vehicles are making major appearances here in the land of America, and there is going to be more to come. Now, the reason I'm bringing this out is because I have an article here for Marca U.S. News. It says what? Space Force boss acknowledges the U.S. will face threats outside of Earth. You see? And that's prophecy, man. This is biblical prophecy. And those vehicles are being controlled by the angels, man. This is how the angels move back and forth between the dimensions. Now, do they need these vehicles? They could just show up if they wanted to. But the Most High gave them vehicles to move and maneuver all throughout this earth, and they're being spotted everywhere. You see? They're being seen everywhere. And guess who else is seeing them? Esau. This is why he came up with the Space Force, man. To try to fight against the Lord and the angels when they return. And we know that to be true because that's what's written in prophecy. You see? So what does it say? And this came out, what, 2 days ago? It says what? U.S. Space Force General B. Chance Saltzman is the second ever top chief at this military branch that former President Donald Trump created during his time in office. Initially, this effort was ridiculed by the media and the general population due to all the stigma attached to it. And when we seen that happen, we already knew it was prophecy coming to pass. You see? We knew what it was. As soon as they started talking about making a Space Force, we knew that was prophecy, man. We knew that they were setting this up to try to fight against the Lord when he returns. You see? It says what? But Saltman issued a concerning warning at the Space Symposium in Colorado Springs, Colorado this past week. It all happened right in the middle of all the activity related to unexplained area phenomenon, and that's what they're calling them now, UAPs. You see, they were formerly known as UFOs, but they are explained. They are explained. You see, they are identified, man. And they're identified all throughout the scriptures. Let's get one real quick. Let's get this is Psalms 68 and 17. It says what? The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. You see that? Those chariots are talking about the UFOs. That's what they truly are. Chariots, man. Vehicles, heavenly vehicles. You see? And these devils are seeing them. They are seeing them. You got all kind of reports coming out, man. All type of confidential information that was, once confidential, but now it's being released to the public. You got pilots coming out and speaking on it, man. You have pilots catching these vehicles on from the cameras that's in their fighter jets, man. These are the chariots of the Most High. This is how the Lord Yahweh Shai is returning, man. So these vehicles are identified by the men of the Lord. You see, they're not unexplained. They're not unidentified. We're telling you exactly what they are, but you refuse to take heed. You see? Let's get, because to show you, man, even the Lord told you how he was coming back. Matthew 24 and 30 says what? And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And they ain't talking about him floating on an actual cloud, man. He ain't finna come in on a Nimbus cloud like Goku or some shit. No, he's coming back with these mighty chariots, man. You see? Want a good illustration of how it's gonna be? Go watch the first Independence Day, man. You see? Because Yahweh Shai is not coming back alone, man. He's coming back with an armada of chariots, man, for a hostile takeover in righteousness. That's what the Lord is coming to do. And it also tells you this in the book of Revelation 1 and 7, when it talks about the Lord coming back, man. Revelation 1 and 7 says, well, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Because this is going to be a worldwide event. Now, you got this bullshit that these pagan Christians teach, talking about the rapture, when the Lord is going to come in the still of the night, and gather the true believers, and no one's going to know about it. That's not the truth, man. When the Lord Yahweh Shai returns, the entire world is going to know it, man. This is going to be a worldwide event, and every eye shall see it according to prophecy, man. You see? So Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. And they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so let it be. You see that? Because when the Lord Yahweh Shai returns, man, everyone is going to be shaken. All the pride, all the arrogancy, all the shit talking, it's going to stop, man. It's going to stop. Everybody's not here boasting themselves against the Most High, telling the Lord what he is and what he ain't going to do. And all that shit is going to melt away when the Lord Yahweh Shai returns, man. Trust and believe. Because he's going to make a grand entrance when he comes, man. You see? So let's go back to the article. Read a little bit more. It says what? It all happened right in the middle of all the activity related to unexplained aerial phenomenon, or UAPs, that's taken place since the start of 2023. And it's been crazy. And it's gonna get even crazier, man. And we're letting you know what's gonna happen. It says what? He is convinced that the United States is entering into a new era of space activity, and the threats will be vastly different. Yeah, they will be. But the thing is, there's nothing that you can do to stop it. Because everything that Yahweh Shah is about to come to this earth to do is all because it's the Most High's will. It's all been ordained by the Most High. Yahweh Shah is coming to wage war in righteousness, man. You see? He's coming to take you heathen down. He's coming to vanquish you. And we've been telling you this over and over and over and over again, man. Our doctrine hasn't changed. We didn't switch it up. We're telling you what's about to take place. And the only thing that's going to happen is what the prophet says is going to happen, because we're speaking the words of the Almighty. His word is faithful and true. His word don't go out void. If he said it, he's going to do it. And it's been ordained from the beginning, man. So what the word is about to witness is the second coming of who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, whose true name is Yahweh Shai, and he's coming to wage war. You see? And this is why the Space Force was created. Now, if you want to go read the rest of this article, go ahead and read it. But we're going to get into the scriptures, man. Let's get, what do I want to start with this one? Let's get, you know what? Let's get 2nd Ezra 13. Let's get 2nd Ezra 13, man. You know what? I'm tripping. We can get, let's grab this one. This is a few I want to grab. Isaiah 19:1 says what? Message to Egypt. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai rideth upon a swift cloud. That cloud represents that chariot that Yahweh Shai is coming on. You see? He's coming on a swift cloud. And you even had Esau's experts tell you that these vehicles that they're seeing all throughout the heavens, they can go from going 13,000 miles an hour, turning at a 90-degree angle at the drop of a dime, man. At the drop of a hat. Where it takes Esau's most sophisticated aircraft to make a U-turn. It takes him to make a U-turn. It takes him doing it over the whole entire state of Ohio, man. You see, these vehicles are far beyond anything that Esau can comprehend, and he's told you that out of his own mouth. Hell, we've told you that. You see? But it goes on to say, and shall come into Egypt, which is Babylon the Great, the house of the thief. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. You see? Because of what? Fear. Terror. That's what Yahweh Shai is going to bring upon you people, man. In a major, major way. You see? Let's get... Yo, let's do this. Yup, let's get 2nd Ezra. Second Ezra 2. No. 13. I'm tripping. 2nd Ezra 13 and 3, it says what? And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. That's that threat he was talking about. You see? He was talking about threats from space, right? That's prophecy. That man waxing strong with the thousands of heaven is the Lord Yahweh Shai, coming back with the angels, man, who are going to come in their chariots. You see? Hold up. Let's get it from the mouth of Enoch, man. Because Jude spoke on this as well. Jude 1 and 14, it says what? And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints. You see? This is how the Lord is coming back. With 10,000s of his saints, man. To do what? To execute judgment upon all and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed me start over. Jude 1 and 15. To execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against them. You see? This is how the Lord Yahweh Shai is returning, man. On the chariots to cast out judgment. He's coming on the chariots to wage war. Yahweh Shai is coming back to get busy, man. And just to go off of this one as well, let's get Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind. That whirlwind representing that what? That so-called UFO, man. The chariots represent what? The so-called UFOs. You see? To render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Yahweh Shai is coming to slay and to slaughter when he returns, man. He's not coming according to what the Christian churches told you, man. You see? Yahweh Shai is coming back to get down. So going back to 2 Esdras 13, it says what? Verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. You see? Because what? Everybody's going to be in a state of fear. Just like it told you in Revelation 1 and 7. All the tribes of the earth shall mourn because of him. Great fear, great terror, because this is the thing. You have people who haven't believed, they heard us, but they didn't believe it. You see, so when it happens, they're going to, man, them niggas ain't know what they're talking about. Those are aliens. So they're gonna think it's an actual alien invasion. Now you have those who have heard this and like scoff. They like dedicated scoffers, man. Anything we say about the chariots and how shall I return on chariots, they look down upon it. They never believe it, so forth and so on. So all this stuff is gonna come back into you people's minds when it happens, man. You see? Some of you are gonna try to rule it out as an alien invasion, and some of you are gonna try to even deny it even then. You see? But when it happens, it's gonna come back into your mind like, yo, them guys on the street corner said this was coming. They said this was gonna happen. You see? But the thing is, y'all didn't believe it, man. And you're gonna be shook in that time. Terrified. Verse 4 says what? And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire. Because what? He was zapping people, and that backs up what was said in Isaiah 66. The Lord shall come with his chariots and his sword like a whirlwind, render his anger and his rebuke with the sword and the flames of fire, man. Yahweh Shai is going to be zapping people, man. Destroying people. Oh, let's get this one real quick. This is Jeremiah 32. Every time. Jeremiah 25 and 32. Yup. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation. And that's what's going to happen when Yahweh Shai returns, man. You know what? And all hell is going to be broke loose before Yahweh Shai returns. It's going to be complete chaos on the earth, man. And when Yahweh Shai returns, it's just going to intensify. It's going to get more chaotic when Yahweh Shai returns, man. Because the Most High is about to throw the entire earth into a state of chaos. And when Yahweh Shai returns, that's just going to intensify. You see? The terror and fear on you people, man. Evil times is coming. It says what? In that great whirlwind, which is that chariot that Yahweh Shai is going to come on. And we're going to show you that in 2 Esdras 13 when we get to it. It says what? And a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered, nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. Do you hear that? Because when Yahweh returns, he's coming to kill a lot of people, man. You see? Now, back in 2 Ezra 13 and 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. And that's talking about what? All these nations being gathered in the Middle East for World War III. So in the midst of World War III, that's when Yahweh Shai is going to show up. You see? And what does it say? Verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. Now, we all know common sense, mountains don't fly. But what was Ezra doing, man? He was just comparing how big Yahweh Shai's chariot is to a mountain. You see? Because that's how big Yahweh Shai's chariot is when he, like, yo, the only thing he could compare it to was a mountain, man. A vehicle so gigantic, it's going to block out the lights of heaven. You see? Verse 7 says what? But I would have seen the regional place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. Because Ezra was like, damn, it's a mountain missing off the earth somewhere. This is how big this chariot is going to be when he returns, man. And to back up that, we've had a couple years ago, NASA caught on their satellites in space a chariot. I can't remember if they said it was 3 times or 10 times bigger than the Earth. That's how big the vehicle was. You see? So fucking it was huge, man. You can try to go find the footage for yourself, because I know when it happened, it was doing a NASA live stream, and they cut the fucking stream off. They cut the cameras off. So everything, and like I said, we didn't even need that proof, because we believe in this anyway. But guess what that did? That just confirmed everything we believe. They're out there, man, and there's countless videos circulating the web showing these vehicles, man. And us true believers, us brothers, we see them all the time. Now they haven't manifested themselves and you know, in their fullness, but we have seen them, man. You see? So it says what? But I would have seen the regional place, 2 Ezra 13 and 7. But I would have seen the regional place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. And why is that? They're afraid because these soldiers are not in these meetings being briefed on what's about to take place. You see? They haven't been told that the son of the Most High, whose true name is Yahweh Shai, a so-called black man of the tribe of Judah, is going to make his second coming on a gigantic UFO. They haven't been told these things, man. These soldiers are in the dark. And even if they were told this, they're still going to be shaken. They're going to be terrified. But the Most High is going to put the Spirit upon them to fight. And why is that? That's to fulfill the prophecy that we read about that has been horribly broken down by you Christians. The war in heaven. The war in heaven wasn't talking about Satan fighting against the archangel Michael. The war in heaven is talking about when Yahweh Shai returns with the heavenly host, he's going to make war with Esau's Space Force and the rest of the nation's militaries, man. That's what the war in heaven is about. You see? That's why that's why it says what? They were afraid and yet durst fight, so they could fulfill the prophecy of Revelation 12:7. Let's get it. It says what? And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Michael and his angels represents the heavenly host that's coming back with the Lord Yahushua. The dragon represents Esau and the nation's militaries, man. You see? There's about to be a clash between the spiritual world and the physical world, and the outcome doesn't favor these heathen nations, man. As it tells us in prophecy, what does it say? Verse 8, and prevail not, neither was their place and prevail not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. These heathen are going to lose, man. Horribly. It's going to be a cakewalk for the Lord, man. They don't stand a chance. Verse 9 says what? And the great dragon was cast out, the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, representing Esau, the so-called white race. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him, because Yahushua is coming back to take all power, authority, rulership, and dominion from you heathen nations, beginning with you Edomites, man. You see? Now, as we jump back to 2 Esdras 13, and angel says what? And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Yahushua didn't have any instruments of war, man. He didn't have sword and shield. He didn't have none of that. The weapons that Yahushua used were the weapons that are on those chariots, man. You see, and he sent out a gigantic energy blast and wiped out every nation's militaries in one fell swoop, leaving nothing but smoke. Dust and the smell of smoke. Completely annihilated the nation's militaries with one shot, man. You see? That's the type of power the Lord is wielding. And there's nothing you heathen nations can do to stop it, man. You see? So when you say Space Force boss acknowledges the U.S. will begin facing threats outside of Earth, you're damn right. That's prophecy. But there's nothing you can do to stop it, man. You heathen are about to fall. And the Lord Yahushua is going to see to it, man. He's going to see to it. Because it must be. You see? And I could have went and got Revelation 19 because it basically says the same thing. Not the same thing, but it tells you how the Lord Yahushua is going to return, man. I might make another part to this one and just go into Revelation 19 to show you, hey, yeah, the Lord is coming back in a major way, and he ain't coming back, to shake hands and love everybody. He's coming back to wage war, man. And look, he looks scared as hell. But yeah, that's what it is, man. The threat that the U.S. is facing from outside of Earth is the Lord Yahushua, man. Thus saith the Bible, thus saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So with that, I'm going to end it by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushua. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopefully Akim out there, pushing this word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushua has created us to do. With that, I'm going to say Shalom, Wa, Abba, Abba.